Hi, I'm Michelle Sterling for Friends of Science Society. Wasn't that something a week or so before the budget came out that we saw all kinds of federal ministers tromping in and out of prefab homes and manufacturing plants and running around with hammers in hand and alluding to the fact that they're going to make this miraculous thing happen where they're going to build 3.9 million homes in, what, 7 years? Something like that. And so a few pundits on X, Twitter, have noted that that would be about 1,565 homes a day. But they keep saying, oh no, we're not going to build homes like we did in the old days. We've got new methods. And one of them is kind of like this. It's 3D printing. So they're planning to bring some kind of a very large 3D printer on site that will be suspended by sort of a gantry like you have in a dock, you know, where you're loading and unloading container ships. And then you'll simply tell it to print your house. And so it goes around and around and around and prints layers and layers and layers of your house. Kind of like what I'm doing with this delicious whipped chocolate frosting. So my house will be edible after, but yours will not. Anyway, so this is also supposed to be made by some special new low carbon concrete that will be mixed on site. Now, as far as I know, the proportion of low carbon concrete in the world is very, very small compared to the amount of concrete that would be required for this many homes. I'm not saying that this would be a bad idea. It might be a great idea. But what this kind of thing usually does is it sets up kind of what's called a pump and dump stock promotion. So people think, oh, that's fantastic. The government's going to build 3.9 million homes, and some of them are going to be 3D printed. So then they go and invest in that company or those companies, and the stock really takes off. Now, in my view, the real problem here is that I don't think we have any long-term testing on what a 3D printed concrete home does in Canada in our winter extremes. You know, it gets to minus 40, minus 50. How do you heat a home like that? There may be some questions about that. Is the concrete going to retain its integrity over the years? You know, we're talking about building millions of homes, and you wouldn't want to build a few million of them and find out that, actually not suited to our environment. I think they're probably ideally suited to places like Arizona, you know, where the temperature is quite stable and it's hot, so a concrete house would be quite cool. But, you know, and I could be wrong on this, but my point is, I always think of what Hans Rosling said in his book, Factfulness. Wrote that fear plus urgency leads to stupid, drastic decisions with unpredictable side effects. So when they're saying that, you know, we don't build homes like they did for the past 100 years, we're going to do something new. Well, I don't know. If it sounds too good to be true, probably is. And they're saying that these would also be more climate resilient and that they would have a lower carbon footprint. Well, if you do the math, which we did, we found out that the carbon footprint of building all these homes in Canada using an eco-friendly form of building would be enormous. So, you know, your carbon tax is rendered useless by the home building plan. For Friends of Science Society, I'm Michelle Sterling.